MotoGP, the fastest, boldest, wildest motorcycle racing show on Earth. From Jerez to Texas, Assen to Phillip Island, no matter where the engines fire up, fans tune in for one thing: speed on the edge. But when the rain hits, it's no longer just about skill, it's about survival. Riders are skating across puddles, losing grip in blind corners, and sometimes not getting back up. So here's the real question, especially after some gnarly incidents the past few years. Should MotoGP ban wet races for the sake of rider safety? Or is the chaos just part of the game? Let's dive in. Rain changes everything. It turns a finely tuned racetrack into a slip and slide. Even for the best in the world, wet conditions are unpredictable. You've got aquaplaning, zero visibility, and grip that vanishes mid-corner. Between 2013 and 2017, over 50% of all MotoGP crashes happened during wet conditions, even though wet races made up a much smaller slice of the calendar. That's wild. And these aren't just bumps and bruises. More than 1.3% of wet race crashes led to broken bones and surgery. Misano, for example, saw the most wet weather fractures during that period. One slip, one patch of standing water, and you're flying off the bike at triple-digit speeds. And we're not just talking about statistics here, we're talking real people, real heartbreak. In 2016, Luis Salom lost his life during a wet practice session in Barcelona. A split-second mistake on a slick surface ended everything. In 2011, Marco Simoncelli, one of the sport's brightest young stars, died during damp conditions in Malaysia, a crash that still haunts fans around the world. And more recently, things haven't gotten much safer. At the 2023 Argentine Grand Prix, reigning champion Francesco Bagnaia crashed out of the race late when the rear tire gave up on the wet track. At the 2025 America's Grand Prix, several riders went down in both practice and the race, including Marc Marquez, who aquaplaned across the tarmac with no warning. That was on US soil, and fans in the stands saw it up close. A brutal reminder that in the rain, even the GOATs can't save it. That's why some are saying enough's enough. Let's call it wet races just aren't worth the risk. The logic is pretty simple. These guys are modern gladiators, sure, but they're also human. No tire compound or racing line can beat standing water and sketchy runoff. It's not a matter of bravery, it's basic physics. MotoGP has evolved into a hyper-fast, close-contact sport where milliseconds decide everything. But rain takes all that control and throws it out the window. When a rider wipes out at 180 miles per hour, not because of a bad decision, but because of bad luck, that's when the sport crosses a line. The fans want action, not ambulances. Still, not everyone agrees. In fact, a lot of fans and riders love wet races because they shake things up. These aren't just danger zones, they're proving grounds. When the track's soaked, it's not just about horsepower or factory bikes. It's about heart, feel, and raw talent. Jack Miller's win at Assen in 2016? Instant classic. Or Miguel Oliveira's wet win in Indonesia? Stuff of legends. Wet races flip the script and give underdogs a chance to shine. And let's not forget, MotoGP already has red flag rules, advanced wet tires, and race control watching every lap. If the rain's truly dangerous, they call it. But if it's just damp and tricky, that's part of the MotoGP DNA. Ban the wet races, and you risk sterilizing the sport, taking away those wild, unpredictable moments that fans live for. But maybe, just maybe, there's a smarter way to do this. Like maybe the answer isn't black and white. Maybe it's not ban or send it. MotoGP could tweak the system. Stricter red flag thresholds. Don't wait for 5 riders to crash before pulling the plug. Improved track drainage. Let's face it, some circuits handle rain like it's 1985. Fix that. Shorter wet races, less fatigue, less chaos, more control. Rain-specific rule sets, like starting behind the safety car or delaying the launch by 10 to 15 minutes to let water clear. There's room for smart solutions that don't sacrifice the thrill. All these steps could keep the rain races thrilling while keeping the danger more manageable. MotoGP is growing fast, and rider safety is a huge part of that. We've seen how NASCAR, IndyCar, and even Supercross evolved over the years. They didn't lose their edge. They just stopped sending drivers and riders into situations that didn't need to happen. We love grit, heart, and guts, but we also don't want to tune in on Sunday and see a rider's season, or worse, their life end because of conditions no one could control. MotoGP has a golden opportunity here. Keep the thrill, but protect the talent. So what's the move? Do we ban wet races outright to protect the grid? Or is there a smarter, safer way to keep the spectacle alive without pushing riders into unnecessary danger? Let us know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button if you've ever watched a rain race with your heart in your throat, and subscribe if you live for two-wheeled mayhem. Rain or shine, we'll see you at the next one.